Gonna equip Embercleave to Obosh, and then I'm gonna kill Obosh with Giant Killer. I think I can also get in with Traxos then.
One drop ripples and grows.
So I need 4 mana open, right? 3 for Giant Killer, 1 for Icy. I hate not putting that as a effect on the board, but I can die if I'm not careful with these, and I think I just win if I can handle this correctly. Why not block with Prince? Block what? Oh, on the 1/1, because he can pump the 1/1 and trade with the Prince. That's a good last card. A 6 mana on the board. Almost certainly Rexaging that. I was going to get the Embercleave. The Embercleave is scary, but it's not as scary as him having like 25 more plays here. I thought I was flooding, but he seems to be doing well here. He could play a 2-drop off the fucking top. God damn it, man. All right. Dude, just, okay. I know it's Frenzy, but you've cast 4 cards this turn already. Frenzy, the fucking hammer, the land, and the... That doesn't give it power. That's not true. It's a legendary creature. Okay. Alright, we're gonna tap you. Blow you up. Oh my god, Rexage with Thassa. Yes! Alright, were we 1 mana short? No, because we have Kiora. Thassa untaps too. You guys ready for it to concede from our opponent? I'm ready.
Nature flows with vigor.
I don't have a chump blocker this turn. I wonder if that's a problem. Would have left 1 more mana here. I guess we survive whatever this throws at us. Does it trample with Embercleave? It does. Do we kill Embercleave or do we kill Hammer here? He's got the mana to move Hammer around, so we can't. It does 3 damage to anything, so we will kill the Rexage. Traxos blocks this, but not with Embercleave, and it doesn't actually block it with that either. It dies. Told you the concede was coming. All right. I don't know, scare game. Those are some serious threats on the board there, right? Like coming in on that board. Nice hand. We're a little light on mana. But we have black source, white source, green source, 2 drops for all 3 colors. How's Magic treating me this morning? It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, Thassa did work for us there, for sure. I mean, the game before we lost because we had black on our deck, though. I mean, we drew that swamp. The only base basic in a color that we wish we weren't playing. I could scry 2 here and then Poison Cup. It taps my Paradise Druid, which is a little unexciting, but the whole point of fucking having Paradise Druid is acceleration. So I think we're doing that. So let's go ahead and scry first, I guess. I mean, we're always playing the land. We can't draw this turn. The other play is like Poison the Cup, pass, and don't attack with the Druid, and then kill pretty much whatever he plays. I mean, we have 3 fairly open removal, and we get the scry that way. Is there a bounce effect we want here? I mean, eventually there is, but I gotta get the scry off. If he does nothing that turn, I think it's no good for us. So I actually think this is this guy with the scry. There's no lands there, chat. Ow. Ow. Okay. That's why you scry, though. Okay. So it's first land cycles it out, future lands cycle it back in, right? I don't know how we managed to get white mana again. It's a little unfortunate. I don't hate another scry. How to build more complex decks. So at the moment, I am not playing constructed. So the first thing I want that force, and I'm fine with Carrick afterwards. We actually have 6 lands right now. It's good. That's what we wanted to see. Can you ping me right after this match, Stonekek? Like right as the match is finishing, just ping me again, be like, hey, you're gonna answer my question, so that I can give it some like reasonable amount of interaction. This is not Flash, right? Okay. The short answer is you're best off net decking as a new player. We can talk a little bit about some deck building after, but I don't do a lot of constructed. I play almost always wait, is this not the one that goes back? Oh, it's if you do. Okay. Almost always limited. So now it death touches for a fight. That sucks. That sucks so much. I guess we're holding on to that for 1 turn. I'm going to banish this. So far we're using our 2-1 Paradise Druid as a beater, which is really not where the 2-1 Paradise Druid wants to be. Do I remember Ponza? I played Land Destruction a very, very long time ago when I was a kid, when I first played Magic. When things like Stone Rain and Sinkhole and Wasteland were all legal playables. And it was really, really fun to be the person land destroying, and really not fun to not be the person land destroying. This is a great card for us right now. Okay. Land removal sucks the fun out of the game. Maybe. Could argue a lot of things suck the fun out of the game. You just have to have counterplay as the answer. Alright, we've got good power on the board, but there's all sorts of cards that blow us the fuck up here. Him taking another turn is kind of annoying. I was enjoying the pressure we were putting on his life total. Creating 2 chump blockers and then getting another turn and untapping is pretty solid. Stasis was around when I was first playing too. It was my first tournament as a little tiny kid. There was hosted at the local Perkins in my town. My brother and I was in, God, it was either, what grade would that have been? 5th grade, I think, for me. I was in 5th grade. My brother was 2 years younger than me, and we would get dropped off all day long, and it would be this huge game. It was a huge Perkins like meeting room full of Magic players playing tournaments. And I brought my deck. I didn't even know about 60 card decks as a kid, so I had a deck like this big. It was like 120 cards or something, right? And my opponent like plays out like some stasis combo deck into that experience. I had a lot of fun with that. I have fond memories of that day.
You buckle under our might.
Okay. Did I win? Did not win that tournament. My another friend of mine though, at my brother's age, my friend's younger brother came in like 3rd or 5th or something and won a bag of cards, a bag of like commons and uncommons and maybe rares from like a different language or something, and he traded that whole bag that he won for a Mox. You just steal my fucking Planeswalker on 7 mana? Are you stupid? Is this game stupid? Are we gonna lose this game from here? The opponent's done nothing for 20 turns. He gets 1 extra free turn and now is like playing his 7 mana steal my Planeswalker stuff. This is horse shit. Alright, my turn to top deck? Kind of. Love the rage stream? Good. Good. Oh, dude. 3/3 gets blown the fuck up. Next turn is take 2 turns. Turn after that is steal my fucking card with 7 mana, dude.
I like animals better than people.
I don't know if there's a world in which I can go around him or not. Dude, into Waker. Guy just plays all 7 drops and gets away with it. Pisses me off right now. We just blanked twice, 2 lands into a card that doesn't really do anything. Okay, opponent. We put our win card on the bottom too, right? Feels so bad scrying for lands. Feels so bad. Opponent plays 7 drop into 7 drop into Planeswalker.
Are you certain of your decision?
Can't deal with Thief right now. Getting a bit salty, chat. Alright, what the fuck do I need to win here? I don't even know the rest of my deck. I don't think we have any hasters. I mean, Thassa helps slow it. We don't have blue mana right now. If I take 13 if he attacks with both. Does he also have removal from my druid? Of course he does. Of course he's got last card removal that works with this. Give me a break, man. Give me a break, opponent. You just got so fucking lucky. 4th land in a row. Okay. We dead on board? Yeah. I guess we have one more chump. Yep. So maybe too greedy with the seal away? Maybe. He hasn't attacked with the 7/7 yet.
I like to think big.
Tramples, right? No blocks. Okay. I think it's impossible to win from here. I think our opponent did it. Yeah. Okay. We just drew 3 lands and lost to this player. Apparently. Yeah, it is a shame that lands are such a shit mechanic. I don't disagree whatsoever. All right. I think there was a comment about building decks. Yeah, I don't do a lot of constructed play. The best, honestly, your best bet is net decking with that. If you're going to try to play to free or free to play MTGA with playing constructed, you need to pick a deck and basically focus on it to get that going. Right when a set rotates is a good time. Not immediately a good time, but like kind of an okay time. The cheapest decks tend to be things like mono red, mono white. Both are pretty reasonable starts. So we have black mana, we have red mana, or blue mana, and we have white mana. We don't have second white source yet. We have good stuff synergizes with this. We have 202 plays and we're going first. I mean, unless our opponent plays like the last guy. Oh, top deck fucking 7 mana, like grab your shit after taking an extra turn. Then we should be okay here. Constructed is a little less prone to bad land draw because there's a lot more ways to deal with it than draft. This, I mean, you still sometimes get screwed. You sometimes just don't draw enough lands to play the game. Sometimes you flood out. Sometimes your opponent just has the fucking nuts. Like these are the realities of this game, right? Yeah. Oh, I get you get tilted watching Orange. I get fucking tilted playing. Okay. Opponent sees all of my reactive spells that require him not to see my hand. He carouses Thoughtseize early. Fuck you, opponent. Fucking die in a fire. Get out of my hand. We're gonna go like 1 and 3 with this deck at this rate. Like, not even exaggerating. That last game was tilting as fuck. I steal your Planeswalker and activate it to get a 3/3 on the board, otherwise I'm dead. Yeah, it's definitely love-hate with Magic. A lot of great things in it and a lot of shitty things in it. It's a really nice draw. We'll tutor up a Plains. Happy about that top deck. Do we need second Forest right now? We have second Plains in our hand. Okay. Or second card that has double white source. Okay. 2 lands on 20 card drawns with... How did you survive 20 cards drawn? That's crazy though, wow. I'm glad. I'm glad, Professor Pandemonia. It's important to not get suckered in. All right, who knows what his options are like here? Our options are pretty simple. We don't even attack because he knows our hand. We don't want to offer him killing our Surveyor. Tutor up a Forest. Okay. Surprised you let me keep Thas. I'm a little surprised too. We didn't have a card that synergized with it in hand. We drew the Surveyor. Opponent is fucking popping off over there. Okay. So we can get a lifelinker on the board. We can eat tokens. I need another white source. I just drew another white source. It's also one of my blue sources. So I'm thinking of Sigrid plus Seal Away, which requires 3 whites. Well, we're going to lose one of our total islands, but we're not running reclamations. It's probably okay. This is the power of a card like that, is its flexibility. We're going to Seal Away that asshole. Okay. Okay. Probably doesn't attack here. Maybe it should have just been Luris. I can always poison the cup too. Which he doesn't know about. I mean, he kind of knows about it. He knows there's a card there, doesn't know what it is. Dude, Curd Ape is so good. What is Curd Ape? It's like a 1 mana 1/2 that gets like +1/+1 or something with like a forest in play. It's a mountain card. Do we have anything in our graveyard that Loris hits right now? No. The Seal Away would if it got put into the graveyard. Okay. Lyra. Okay. Any attack? Happy about the scry here. Don't need that. Does this card do anything for us? Nope. Never didn't have it. There's no permanents in my graveyard. This is just pass. It's an exciting moment in passing history. Loris doesn't get me anywhere on this board. Okay. I can't attack. He just gang blocks. I lose the Surveyor, and I can't do anything with Thassa anymore. You're wanting the Sigrid, and then he triple blocks. I remove one of them, and I still lose my Surveyor. It's just bad all around. Loris doesn't bring back Surveyor. Surveyor is 3 mana. Loris is two or less CMC. I don't mind banishing the Lantern. Can attack now, and I will attack now because I got to tap off now. Look at this chip damage. Fuck, at this rate, we got him on the clock. 22 turn clock. Go, go, go. I'm not tapping down Maul. It takes his whole turn to equip it, and I can tap the creature. The Lantern just fires off repeatedly, drawing my resources out. So, no, we'll banish the Lantern. I might not have to banish anything right now, honestly. Sooner or fucking later, we will draw a non-land card. It feels like later at this point, but hey, there we are. So far, our Skittering Surveyor has blanked our opponent's deck, which I'm pleased about. How many cards does Surveyor draw on? It's like 7? Dude, just kidding about drawing a non-mana card. I lied. I lied directly to your face, chat. Am I gonna force one more damage through? It seems really not good. Maybe we should be playing fucking Finale here, honestly. I'm down to 1 basic left in my deck. We did 5 turns of like no draws here. Where's my angel? The one that's like XX angels and I get like 25,000 4/4s? Seems good. I'm gonna start swinging with my Paradise Druid. That's the card I wanted. Perfect. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I get 5 of them next turn. Okay. I could slam Paradise Druid into him recur it with Loris and still put that away. I don't need Loris on the board, but it might bait something out. And I'm planning on killing him with this, so that seems okay. Let's do that. Okay. We drew our 1 Expo, which was nice. Take 2 for that. Could have exiled the token, but I'm happy to have it in the graveyard right now. Not so happy to be draining 2, but hopefully we're going to be done with that in about 1 second. I did something dumb here. No. Maybe. Oh, what the fuck? That's not Loris. Shit. I just clicked the wrong card. I was literally looking at my mana, trying to count my mana, and I just cast the wrong card. That's kind of bad. That's so bad, in fact. Oh no, chat. What have I done? Oh no. What? Can I wait that long? Jesus Christ, that's so bad. It's so bad, chat. Okay. Yeah, we always only foretell there, but I took 2 damage to the face, took one of my tricks out of my hand. It's pretty rough too. It's just bad on so many levels. And now this guy is on the battlefield, not in my hand, and my Loris, who's supposed to be on the battlefield, is now on his Valky. It's just so bad. Yeah, if he's got Cleansing Nova, it's super fucking bad. Don't get me wrong. We're going to try to win the game. It's called Punish. It's called a misclick. It's not even a misplay. Conceptually, we achieved what we wanted to play, but I literally physically picked the wrong fucking card. He needs to equip Maul if he was gonna want to attack with that to trade it off for Valky for recursion with Loris. I mean, this is the card that breaks the deadlock for us, right? But I also counted on this based on having the Paradise Druid in play, because the Paradise Druid was getting recast after we traded it. That was the point here. It's fucking irritating as fuck. Sure. All right, what is this? 3, 4, 8, 9. So we get 4 now. Leave 1 mana up. Okay. I even leave 1 mana up. I can't get more things in hand now. This protects me from discard. I don't want to lose my Planeswalker. 1 mana on the board doesn't do anything. Wait, is the one mana Tithe card in this one? No, I was watching, I think, anyways. So what do we have? 4, 9. So it's just 4 ones. It's fine. Okay. Maul gives first strike, which is pretty terrifying too. I always expect that you're going to lose at least one of these angels to spot removal. Lifelinker that draws him cards on a board where he's got a drain. God, wouldn't it be nice to draw a non-land card once in a while? So there's 20 there. If I slam another 3 on the board, he absorbs it. He goes to 3, but he's still alive. Goes to 4 off the drain. One more angel. In other words, if I'd had the Paradise Druid, we'd have lethal on the board right now, even with the lifelink off this. This is so fucking bad. Alright, I guess let's see what's coming. That doesn't help us. We die to a board wipe. I'm not playing around a board wipe right now. I will play around crackback though. These are all vigilant though, right?
Great day. Dare you to stop this?
Maul is first strike and flying. Okay. I think we're gonna lose from that play we made with the fucking accidentally clicking on the wrong fucking card is so bad. It's so stupidly bad. The removal card in our hand. I guess we'll find out. Go. How was my walk yesterday? Full of punching things. I guess here I don't need to protect them both, but if I draw another card, I don't know if there's discard 2 in this format. I think there's the black one that makes me discard 2. So I think I do want to hold this until there's no more X spells in my deck, right? Okay. There's lifelink off of this thing gives him lifelink, so if he blocks with a 3/3, he's getting health back. Top deck Rankle. Life gain on that, and it's every turn life gain or scry. Seems fine.
I like to think big.
I mean, it feels like he could be doing so many better things. I'm gonna give him more cards with fucking Mangara. So he always takes 7. So he's gonna gang block an angel, I guess. It's kind of annoying. I hate that this card is in this deck that he's playing. Draws. 2 for 1-ing. Why don't I tap his creatures, chat? Any thoughts on that? Like, I've got a Thassa that I just forgot about entirely. He's chumping though. That's good. Feels like, you know, on his end step, tapping his creatures might be valuable. His blockers. I literally just totally forgot about it, so easy punt. Alright, we'll try to win the game this turn as opposed to losing the game by not tapping his creatures. I may cast random spells from my hand that are not the cards that we want to actually play, but don't let that bother you, chat. That is in fact extended BM. It adds to the feeling of excitement as a viewer. Okay. Alright. Punt count, -1. It's a punt if you make a mistake. A mistake you think about is a punt. Like when you don't see the play. An accidental misclick is just a misclick. A extended bad manner to break the will of the opponent to weaken him for future games is strategy. Okay? That's how that works on this channel. There's a small percent chance I can match him again. I'm not even sure it is a chance. It might be a 0% chance. But I might play him again in the future with a different deck. And we have upped our win con for that future deck. This hand sucks going second. I've got 2 reactive removal, but if he doesn't do things, this is going to suck. Okay. Oh, we don't have white. Okay. Clunky little play there, but I got options from that, right? Which is he hasn't played any creatures yet, so it's a really good card to seal away. Can do it post-combat, I suppose. This is green on it. This is the last turn this comes into play untapped. How much cleaner is my next turn if I just banishing like the Woe Strider, probably. Man, there's a lot of other permanents though. So it'd be really nice. I guess I could go straight into Kaya, but I can't protect Kaya if I have to remove. This is clunky as fuck right now. Like, playing the Incubation Druid makes a little tiny bit of baby sense. Banishing Lighting the Strider makes a little bit of sense, but if this is mono black, which is what it looks like over here, there's gonna be the Lanterns that I care about. The Arena that I care about, the one that gives him card draw, and then a bunch of drain creatures that I might want to interact with that might not tap. It's not mono black apparently, but okay. So if I played Incubation Druid this turn, I take 3, untap, and I'm committed to spending mana banishing the Woe Strider, which doesn't seem very good. Here I set up for taking 4, having Icy to protect, or just blocking with Scourge here. Can also Kaya depending on what he plays. So he did have Lantern. I did actually call that right. He's just played some weird ass fucking Lantern card there. Played it as the creature as opposed to the Lantern. I can Kaya but then not protect against the Null Priest. I do have double black, so I could get the Scry off here. It's 2 mana to foretell, 2 to kill. Or I can just play it with the Druid. Still take the 2. That's okay. Do I have enough black for that? I got black, right? So I get no Scry, but I get my Druid out. That's okay. I could just fucking exile it too. I don't have to Poison Cup this. This is the card I was considering removing. I don't want this creature going back to his graveyard. No, this card has Menace, Sander. That's why I can't do that. So I can't block that creature, so it kills my Kaya if I do that, which isn't good enough. So I just changed my plan here. Yeah. Yeah, so the exile, I'm thinking like, what am I saving this? The part that I had to tick in on the brain was I'm playing this card because I'm trying to avoid. Dude, you know what I thought that was gonna be? I thought that was gonna be fucking Witch of the Moors. So now there's a lot of different incentives here. I guess we go see what's coming up next. It's cheap. Got other plays. Maybe it's okay. Alright, so I can Kaya, untap Traxos, exile Captivating Crew. I'd absolutely have to remove Captivating Crew. I could just Poison Cup it, and I can Incubation Druid into Poison Cup, take another 2 is reasonable too. It doesn't untap Traxos, but it gives me a stronger board. It's also more acceleration for next turn. I like a little bit more protection with Kaya, I think. Oh no, 1 mana removal for this is fucking brutal if he had it. There was a pause. I didn't even think about that, honestly. He might still have it. It might be the... Well, Fatal Push would have hit Druid as it was, right? Village Rites is okay here. It's not great for me, but it's... Can't have the crew untapping, right? Or have him untap with the crew. So here we commit to another 2, but we don't have Kai on the board yet. Have much better blockers. This thing doesn't have Death Touch. It's just Lifelink Menace with recursion synergies. That sucks. Can't block. Might as well attack. Could block. Played around it last turn. Can't play around it this game, though. Like, it doesn't work for that. We protected that Kaya super hard and then got screwed by it. That's really bad on his part. Just negates the entire spell as opposed to giving it back to his hand. I'm bleeding out because I don't have... Oh, come on, man. Alright, we just got a much shorter clock. Egg is a great card right now. What is this? Black-white. That's fine. Not as great a card, quite honestly. A lot of mana. Just untap Traxos, though, is fucking sick. Sigrid for a surprise 2 blockers and a removal seems nice. Oh, I don't get it as a surprise anymore because the guy plays too much removal like an asshole. A little annoyed about that. It was a pretty big blowout. This guy, it's cast. So the scry is the best part. I kind of would like a heal. I could swing with Traxos if I believe it's going to get us somewhere. I guess I scry first to get some sense of what's coming up. Okay. I've got blockers, but not good blockers. I mean, this is first strike. Any removal, though. I don't think I can kill him at 23 swinging with Traxos and not guaranteeing an untap. So swing flash Sigrid. No, you can't Onia. I just checked that. I checked that on stream. It's a cast trigger on Traxos, not a enter the battlefield trigger. Land again. Okay. That was so brutal. Getting our Icy and our Kaya was so bad. It's just gonna be like Drakathar or something like crazy in this deck. Very tired of opponent right now. Okay.
Sorry for your loss.
Another land. Guy's got perfect mana to protect his Planeswalker with removal on my fucking biggest dude. Can I need some of my answers now. Like, he's got all of his answers in a row to us again. We haven't drawn hieroglyphic the entire time we played this deck. Remember that 4-mana draw spell that we put in our deck for situations where we might be flooding? I remember.
I really don't care about
What does this
your
thing do at
plans.
7? Imagine top decking another mana dork. Can we attack with anything? No, nothing gets through right now on this board. Yeah, I know they're past there. But the problem is he's going to ult this, and I don't know what it does. At the beginning of combat, put target creature card from your graveyard under your control. It gains haste. That seems like it kills us if he gets to ult that, and that's next turn.
You think too much.
Is this the only player in the universe who has no artifacts or enchantments? So he has one profitable block. It's a May. I have to hit it, unfortunately. So bad for us. He just...
So tough.
It's just easier. It's just easier to top deck I mean, why not? Why wouldn't we just fucking top deck a Planeswalker when the opponent can't get it on the board and just draws 4 lands in a row? Wait, it's a target but not submit, right? So target, decline. Okay. He wins if he ults that Planeswalker, chat. So if this is gas and we don't draw gas right now, we lose. That's better.
You can scream if it hurts too much.
You can make me discard this, right? So now I get drained out by Liliana. Dude, where is my draw cards? Come on. I have Thassa for tapping down his blockers. I have my own fucking draw card for getting a value here. I've got my own Planeswalker. I've got fucking a billion angels that pop out of a fucking thing. I've got removal for this creature.
I have no interest in fighting.
I've got forest. Seems weird. Why didn't he just kill Giant Killer, man? Wasn't that better?
Well, that's a missed opportunity.
I'm at 7, so I can just die too. There's a lot of shit that randomly kills me in red-black drain right here.
We're doing things my way.
Yeah, like that one. That creature can't block. Game. This is insane. He's got removal too. His last fucking card is removal. Oh, it kills his own creature. That's, I guess, okay. I guess. Is that all land cards? No, I drew a Giant Killer. Top deck's a card that draws him more cards.
I have no interest in fighting fair.
Fuck you, game. This is fucking ridiculous. So I drained to 2 here. I can't kill that because I can't do any damage to it. I don't think it's worth playing it. I think it's worse than not playing it. I go to 1, right? So he draws a card when I trade with Dread Wanderer. I don't trade with Dread Wanderer. I take 2. I'm tapping and chumping. I can't make games up like this. Can untap, but what does that do? I can only untap on my phase. What the fuck does untapping on my phase do? I can only untap one of them. So I tap this, hit it for 1, it's at 2. He untaps, I untap my giant killer or something. I've got a 1/2 and he's got fucking this power on the board. And I take 3 from plussing Liliana. There's no way that works. Our giant ape fights a creature and gets us on the board. Bounce our giant killers. I mean, we have so many cards that get us somewhere right now. And we just cannot draw one. It's been like 8 draw steps.
You think too much.
Has it been more than 8? Might have been more than 8 draw steps. This is the last turn that I have, by the way, chat. And I probably might even... I think I just die anyways, right? Because even if I get ape here, I have no card to protect against Liliana anymore. Which means that I has to be draw card into something. We're at 14 of 17 lands. Of these 11 cards, there's 3 left. We never in this entire draft drew our blue draw card. Not once. Shit like this, where your opponent just top decks a Planeswalker and just slams it on a stalled board, and then I never draw another playable card again. Like, it's just enraging. Oh, I did scry 2 to the bottom, didn't I, with land? I think it got shuffled, though. Draws another recurring creature, sure. Like, what percentage of the time do we lose this game? Like, never?
We're doing things my way.
I can't block and tap before someone suggests that, so. Do you think this is a good time to say something like that, Sayonara? Do you think it's like a good time to like rub it in after we just top deck like 25 fucking lands? After our opponent played like shit? Like, how many turns could he have killed that? He could have killed that giant killer with -2ing Liliana for like 15 turns in a row and didn't. Just let us stall out to draw more cards. Like, opponent playing poorly and losing is that would be justice. Instead, opponent plays poorly and wins. I mean, what is the rest of the cards in our deck? You ready? Like, look at the gas rest in this. We have Ape left. He's still in there. Garrick still in there. Thassa still in there. Which anytime, by the way, we get this on the stall board where we have the guy who gains us life and other ETBs is super, super relevant to everything. Hieroglyphic Illumination still in there. Starnheim Unleashed still in there. Loris still... he might have stolen my Loris at one point. I don't remember if this was game or last game. No, that was last game. Loris still in there. We still had Paradise Druid in there. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I think we might have had an Elves. So there's like 2 lands and like 50 other effects. How many turns was that drawing? Like, unreal. Unreal, man. Remember, kids, friends don't let friends play with lands, okay? Like, how many was that? Anyways. All right, I need to go. We can draft one more. We probably can't play it out, but the draft is the most fun part, honestly. Oops, I don't want traditional arena draft. So let's go arena cube draft. Salty as fuck there. Like, so many things save us for so long. I mean, what even, like, how many hits was that? Like, how many times did he plus that fucking Planeswalker? I mean, we made plenty of. Well, was it that game? I think it was the other game. That wasn't the game with the Sigurd. No, it's the other one. Okay. Oh man. Were there decision points in that game? Yeah, the turn we got mind rotted for our Kaya was a big decision point. So we could have played Kaya on that board. The problem was any removal lost us Kaya, and I was trying to get value out of that. Pack one, pick one. Any reason it's not Thassa? So what's the second strongest card? Midnight Clock? Voya? Here we go again, chat. Okay. There's a reason why I'm not playing best of 3. It's Phantom Draft. I'll play best of 3 when it's offered for ranked for the rest for ranked for whatever. I don't know. The answer is I see less drafts like that. I'm not actually convinced this format is any better in best of 3. We'll see. Trying aggro for a change. I'm going to pick the best card in the pack. Ranger is fine if you already have a bunch of value 1-drops. I don't think it's a build around card. And I don't think the power level is insane, right? I do think Thassa's power level is fucking ridiculous in this format. There's so many good ETB effects. I think strongest card here is Magda. Vivian's okay. Phoenix is okay. I get a lot less value out of Viscanta. Elspeth is fine. It's just very slow. I don't think anything else is worth talking about here. Black-white duel. God, I am so tilted right now. Ugh. All right. ECD is worth at least considering. I did consider it. Considered it and immediately put it back. Thassa can't bounce it. It's super slow. Lots of decks, like when we're playing the aggro-y deck, sometimes there's not a target for it. It's double white, which is a pain in the ass, and it doesn't have the ramp or fixing that Magna does. Like I'll play Magda in a Dirtle deck, right? I don't care if we're core red at least. I can play Magda in a Dirtle deck because it fixes everything else and accelerates out our stuff. This is it's very comparable to Paradise Druid. Grim Lavamancer is really nice in red. Also an early drop. Doesn't do something later. Charming Princess synergies with Thassa as we got one game, and the rest of the games we just drew lands until we fucking choked to death. Heroic Reinforcements is here, but it's pretty bad. I mean, if we're low to the ground, white-red, it's okay, but I honestly feel like the pure white deck does the wide shit better, and the pure red deck does the beat to the face better. I will play Lavamancer in a Dirtle deck. I will play Ox in a Dirtle deck. There's Subtle, Charming. Strongest card, maybe the Tutelage, honestly. I don't think this card is good in this format. I mean, like a pure white deck splashing red maybe, but we're not there yet. We're not splashing red with Magda either. Also, today is supposed to be no honest decks, right? Today is supposed to be as many unhonest decks as possible. All right, there's another red fixer for us. Barrel's expertise has been decent, especially when they recur it with Sphinx. Inscription, we just lost the game to Inscription of Ruin. Like, I like this card, don't get me wrong. There's a Mythos. We don't know our colors yet. We have no fixing yet. There's a Hypnotic Sprite in blue. Kind of straddling whether or not we're Dirtle with fixing or whether or not we're just aggro with red. So we'll see. I think I like Tutelage. It's probably my favorite mill card. It's dirt cheap at 3 mana, scales off of your draw effects, and has an ETB that's really good. All right, if we're looking aggro-y, I don't want to be red-green turn card sideways in this format because I think it always loses. Magma Quake is okay, but we have a bunch of little red shitters, so it is kind of a sweeper, but hits us both, and it's very mana expensive to hit. There's Fixing and red-blue. We don't know what colors we are yet. Pyromancer is the pure red aggro card. Radha is the powerful red-green. I could play this as a finisher too. Triggers with Thassa to some degree. This pack is pretty bad, and there's no fixing besides Terramorphic Expanse. Okay. Royal has cheap removal that can go face. It is sorcery speed, which sucks. I love Dryad. There's Witch of the Moors. Alright, we're taking Witch of the Moors. This card is a payoff in any life gain synergies. In the same pack as Veto, too. I feel like I'd be hard-pressed if I saw this pack not to take one of them. We're not necessarily playing blue. This is still kind of where... We don't know where we're at yet, is the point. So let's stay open to the powerful cards. This card is fucking nuts. It's super good for Dirtle decks. Although it does wipe out your enchantments and artifacts, maybe not quite as super nuts. This card is Graveyard Synergy with Lifelink Synergy. Plays with Witch. Aetherborn plays with Witch. Doesn't play well with Magda and Captain, though, without serious fixing. And Skewer in red. This card is so good. Do we just pass this and grab like a Skewer for consistency or an Aetherborn for trying to build into that? Or do we just pick it up? We just pick it up. It's too powerful. Red black. Sack synergies. Quasi Anthem. This card plays in aggro. Requires red black. We're nowhere near red black necessarily. More Dirtle. Not super exciting. Curious Obsession. Maybe. I don't hate the Daredevil here. Sometimes it's a first striker. Blocker. Sometimes it's a value card. It's flexible. Alright, this is pack 1. Black-red dual. Green-black. Blue-green. Black-red is probably okay. Are we ever playing this guy with this deck? Not so far. We're moving away from Dirtle with these cards, honestly. Let's pretend we're considering black-red life gain matters. Village Rites. Bag. Ayara. Phoenix. Village Rites. I don't want to play triple black in at least a dual color deck, if not more. Let's grab Phoenix. Take a Disfigure. We passed 2 of those effects that can be played on this. I mean, we don't know if we're playing black, right? We have 1 strong payoff card in black and not much else. We could take the Slitherblade. There's 2 blue, if you connect to face, you draw cards effect going around right now, which is kind of nuts. But I don't know if we get them. Maybe if we already had them. Dude, Inscription of Ruin is still there. Card's nuts. Black-white fixing and black-red fixing. Is that an ETB? It is. Oh, shit. Okay, we got Blood Crypt. Never mind, I ran out of time. Didn't notice I was running out of time. Magma Quake there. It's like a Caleb quote. Anyways. Arena and Doom Necromancer both wield. This card is really good. I haven't played Arena in a while though. Okay. So another blue-red card. So we don't know yet. We still don't know. We're either black-red or blue-red at the moment. We like life gain matter stuff. We don't know if we're going to get there. Black Accelerant, black removal, blue-white flyer, red do-nothing dude, Mythos and blue if we want this super control-y shit. Black-green splashing, golden egg. This is not a good pack for us, honestly. There's no clear indication of where to go from here. Epic Downfall is really medium. Medium bad. You guys gonna hate me if I take this? Immortal Sun. I mean, we ramp. It's okay. It's a powerful card. It's that or the Overgrown Tomb. And the only green card I have right now is Realm Eater. And we're moving pretty far away from Dirtle. Sure, maybe it's Immortal Sun. Could be Guardian Idol too, but we kind of want 2 drops for doing this. I think if I were playing Dirtle, it'd be Guardian drop there. Priest is kind of in the deck we want. I like Solemn Simulacrum. Nothing else in this color. Okay. Lifelink matters on Shadow Spear, Resembling Skeleton, Sack synergies, a steel effect, black-blue splashing. Do we have any color sense yet? Building 2 decks right now with Priest and... I mean, Sprite Dragon was super cheap for us. It's not actually a card we have to worry about. We haven't seen blue cards since we picked the first blue card. I actually think this might be Shadow Spear, which is kind of weird. I don't really like that card. I don't care about the red cards. There aren't really black cards. This card is super strong, but it's kind of a win more sometimes. Sometimes it's really good. Doesn't really synergize with what we have so far. We don't have a lot of ETB stuff. We got creatures like Phoenix is anti-synergy, which is interesting with that. You just have like 12 of these ticking. Every time you gain life, your opponent loses their board. Feels like sweeper time. Bone Crusher's right in the red cards we're already playing. There's black-red fixing later. We're not passing Bone Crusher here. Citrus Supplier is a bit of a scam. The Tendershoot Dryad's strong if you don't have spot removal. Otherwise, it's pretty weak. Okay. Rashmi is awesome, but not right now. We're nowhere near white, so the removal is no good. The sweeper cycling kind of hurts us. This is a deck that would love a Tashki. Blue-red fixing. We're not necessarily playing blue, though. We're looking very black-red splashing green right now. I don't want to Doom Foretold in this deck. I think this is Tashki, right? Dryad. This card doesn't do anything at all. It doesn't accelerate you, and it just makes your mana. Loris late here is really nice for us. It's a Crypt Breaker we wouldn't mind wheeling, and an Evolving Wilds we'd wheel, but I'll happily take Loris here. Moving away from blue further. I'm not surprised. Blue seems insanely contested. Some value payoffs here. Dread Wonder is okay as recursion. I really like Null Priest of Oblivion. Has lifelink matters on it. Menace, so it's evasive, and if you draw it late, it brings a creature back with it. Insult to Injury is okay. Cosmo Elixir is pretty solid for us. I wouldn't hate a 3-mana Accelerant. And there's Artifact Hate in red. These are all good. I don't get this pack back yet either, do I? I get one of these back. Maybe he wheels. Seems unlikely. How about another Witch? All right, black is wide open. I don't believe it. No one took the Guardian Idol. It doesn't make any sense. These players seem insanely bad not to pick Guardian Idol here again. But I'm the one losing, so maybe I'm insanely bad. I'll take spot removal at -4/-4 here. Do we have any other black removal yet? Just the Disfigure. It's creature only. I think I am grabbing Grasp. Okay. Black green. We could splash green for Toski. I don't know if Seraph actually fits into our deck. Green removal. Red craziness. That card seems very unplayable in our deck. So does that. I guess I'm more likely to splash a green card than a black-green card. Blood Bones is fine. Kinda. Don't really have a lot of things to sack, but we can regain cheap drops with Luris, possibly. I don't want the Gilded Lotus or the Awakening, I don't think. I don't really value Awakening very highly. Blue cards. And a castle. I don't think we're playing blue. We're not playing white yet. Although white is more likely than blue. Do we have any ETB style effects we give a shit about? Really, no. I guess Daredevil is kind of funny with that. So what did I just get? I just got the Isolated Chapel anyways. That's fine. I'll take Tome here. Take Bird. Pack 3. So Rankle is kind of right where we want to be. Black. Green, red. Light Up the Stage is fine. Acquisitions Expert is fine. Rankle is fine. This card is probably more likely to wheel than this card. Is this card good enough? Do we have anything that... We have Clerics. 2 Clerics. We might get 2 discard. Do we have any Warriors? Are we in Acquisitions Expert here? Over Rankle? Dude, Rankle's a much more powerful card. I'll try to wield the Acquisition. I feel like this card gets picked up a lot. And I feel like this is only in certain dedicated black cards. I mean, clearly Rankle's more powerful, but the other one has some value too. All right, Premium Red Removal. Thirst and Dreadhorde Invasion. There's the second Black Sweeper. Forgot about that one. Yeah. I don't know how Maze Mind's last pick. I don't tell you, I look at these drafts sometimes. I'm like, I don't understand what is occurring right now. It seems like my opponents are playing crazy. So... All right, I would love another Witch. So maybe we could just... My opponents can maybe just give me a Witch. Give me a Witch of the Moors, opponent. Just a prank? Could be just a prank. Yep. Rankle, Master of Pranks, indeed. I don't think we're splashing green for this right now. Realm Eater doesn't really fit with our deck. Toski's great, but I don't really have fixing for green. So we're currently just... We're a really honest black-red deck right now. which feels bad. Life gain matters. Should we get a Rampaging Ferocidon in our life gain matters deck? It only matters for one thing right now, so a lot of the times it doesn't matter. This pack, of course, is blue with a little bit of green. I guess I take Contempt. Maybe Devil's Play. Contempt might wheel. We only have one life gain matters though, so like it's cute that this has gained 2 life, but it only matters when we have Witch of the Moor. Massacre Worm, Squee, Red-Black Fixing, Fabled Passage, and a Maul, as well as a green splash. I think this card is a scam, but Double Vision's not a card. I don't think I want Squee. I mean, it's a little cute with like Priest, I guess. But it's not that cute. Okay. You like Toski more than the red cards? I don't. I think Magda and Captain Lannery are just nuts. I think Bone Crusher is very good. Ooh, that's tough. I want them both. I'd take Bastion in a heartbeat. I'd take Sarkon. Sarkon wheels sometimes, but it is a fucking 4/4 flyer generator that leaves 2 bodies behind. This card's okay. We don't have a lot of tokens. We're not actually a drain deck. We're a life gain matters deck, kind of. I actually think I take Sarkon over Bastion here. We do need something to ramp into too. We'll see. Counter for Hornets, not wrong. This will be the first time I've drafted a Massacre Worm with the intention of playing it in this format. So I think we're not blue. Sack Outlet, Fixing, Bad Fixing, green cards. That's a bad pack for us, huh? We have no green Fixing is the biggest issue. I could have taken the Chromatic Lantern, I guess, but we're not playing that at this point. I might play Weaponize, I guess. It's not a card I want to see. I don't think our green is strong enough to play, chat. Cruel Reality is a card. I don't like Tiamat. What is this? Timerit Calls the Dead in this format. There's a Pyro at 2. Do we have instants and sorceries? Like 1. Still a threat that our opponents kind of have to pretend to react to. It's got to be better than this or that, and I don't want the Obelisk, so there we go. Black-red dual tap, Grim Initiate, Active Treason. It's any creature, it is. Never Return seems fine for us. Another instant sorcery. Okay. Don't think we're playing Realm Eater or Toski or Primal Might. I don't know if we got baited into Witch or not. Honestly, the biggest bait card for me so far has been Magda, who I love. There's okay, so we did wheel Acquisitions Expert. We also have Siege Gang Commander here, which is a fine curve topper as well. Has a bit of reach, has some sack synergy. It's on 5 though, and I have other 5-drops I'd play. I think I'm okay with the Acquisitions Expert. Light Up the Stage is interesting too, but bodies matter. 2-drop bodies are Lurus, as well as, and 2-drop bodies with ETBs are kind of nice. Take the Blood Thief's Thirst as removal. I don't want a sweeper in this deck. Ferocidon wheeled because apparently in this pack no one is playing red cards. Okay. Blue-green Fixing and a Crash Through. Command the Dreadhorde wheeled and Treasure Map. Is Treasure Map good enough to play in this deck? It's very dirtily. It is a 2-mana. We can recur it with Luros, which is a little cute. I don't think I want to command the Dreadhorde here. I mean, life gain matters, maybe. So maybe it matters for us. But it only matters one time. Alright. I mean... Okay. So this is both players. So Sarkon doesn't plus with that, interestingly. Deck's 49 cards with 17 lands. Deck doesn't seem great to me, man. Feels worse than the last couple decks we played. And our last couple decks have been losses out of fucking, like, not out of nowhere, just stupid losses. So Cosmos Elixir and okay. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. We have some acceleration. We'll likely accelerate out to 4 or 5 sometimes. I'm only playing one of these. It's either Cruel Reality or Immortal Sun. I think I prefer Immortal Sun's effects. I don't think this is a Magma Quake deck. I don't really want to play Weaponize the Monsters. It's pretty low power level. I'm not playing Crash Through. I mean, I have effects that matter for Crash Through, but not a lot. I have no rebirth effects. This deck really would have liked a Phoenix or a Woe Strider. I did pass the one recurring guy, the 2-1, right? Or the, I think it's a 2-1. I want to draw cards. Life gain matters. Rampaging Ferocidon's kind of rough for us. We have a lot of life linkers. It's a really good 3-drop though. It's super hard to deal with for the opponent. I don't know if I want to cut it or not. Elixir doesn't fit super well. The problem with this card is you want to be at high life, and life gain does synergize with that, but we have both Dreadhorde Invasion and potentially Phyrexian Arena ticking away at our life totals. Now that might just be fine. Maybe. Do I even play Massacre Worm here? Is Massacre Worm better than Cruel Reality? Treasure Map and Maze Mind Tomes are serious maybes in here as well. Shadow Sphere is not a guarantee, although it's okay. I'm never cutting these cards, I don't think. That card's a maybe. I don't have to play that instead of... I could play Elixir instead of that, for example. I think I want a Blood for Bones in this deck. It's a little bit of protection for Lurrus. Rebirth for Witch. We have a Phoenix. We need 6 cards out. I don't want to get rid of both my draw spells. I don't think I want Worm and Immortal Sun. So what's the removal package? We've got Thirst, Disfigure, Devil's Play is a maybe. Grasp is a maybe. That card's underperformed for me. Double Black Up is a little high. I like the double spells there and a little bit of graveyard hate. We've got 2 damage. We got a destroy. We've got -2. We've got a destroy. That all looks pretty good. I don't know about that card either. Okay, so these cards don't come out. We've got 6 cards to go back in. This is a 17 or possibly 16 land deck. Thassa Flicker's Massacre, it does get -4, sure, but unlike where my other drafts where I aggressively drafted fixing, this deck does not have any fixing. So the cost of playing islands is kind of shitty here. So we don't really wish to be playing islands if we can avoid it. So I'm not going to be flickering anything, in other words, because Thassa's not coming into the deck. But it is, you're right, it is an ETB. So I could, for example, rebirth the Massacre Worm if we played it. That's true. I have 2 rebirths, right? One off the Null Priest and one off the, if I play that. So we need 6 cards in, possibly 7. So we're going to pick one from these piles, Massacre Worm and Cruel Reality. Pick one from these piles, Arena and Cosmos. Pick one from these piles, Grasp and Devil's Play. Maybe we play Blood for Bone, and maybe we play Raptidon. Or Rampaging Ferocidon, whatever the fuck it's called. And Shadow Spear is just, these are draw cards here. Maybe similar to here. Maybe we play a couple of those. And then this is Shadow Sphere. Shadow Sphere is not super cheap to equip, but Trample and Lifelink. Oh, right. And there's a Mortal Sun that also goes on the pick one of pile here. So it's just kind of like that. The curve in general is early 2-drops, which we want, a couple 3-drops, which we want, a little bit of 4 and 5, which is fine. We have to finish the game. How do we finish the game? Do we resolve 7-mana curses that take time to kill them? No, we don't. So we're not playing Cruel Reality. We could play Worm, we could play Sun. Sun is much more nice on our mana base. We don't have to play Sarkon. I just feel like it's a reach attacker, which is pretty good. I like Devil's Play going face. It's kind of shit removal, I don't hate it. Yeah. Ferocidon is really hard, right? Because we have, let's take that. That makes zombies with lifelink. That has lifelink. This card is lifelink. That card cares about lifelink. It's not that many. But we're also considering playing Shadow Spear. This card is excellent in aggro, but it's not so excellent if we're trying to do other things. So I'm not super excited about this card in this deck. It's so good. It's a 3/3 menace creature for 3 that also pings them in the face and fucking removes their ability to do shit. It's good, but I don't know if it's good in this deck. I have no way to discard creatures, so I can't stack the graveyard with Worm. But I can play Worm, then play it again, then play it again. And we do have accelerants. I play it and force the opponent to get rid of it. Well, the opponent might look at my cards and go, he probably likes lifelink. I'm not going to make him get rid of it. If I'm ever in the spot where I can't play my Witch of the Moor, so I have fucking Ferocidon in play, and I have to remove my own Ferocidon, I'm going to like rage quit Magic. So I think let's just put that in the sideboard and think about it later, all the things we could have done with it. These cards are very slow, although Tome is a lot faster than Treasure Map. Treasure Map has ramp potential and draw potential, and we can rebirth Treasure Map with Loris. We need 4 cards out. Maybe we cut Worm, Elixir, or Worm Arena. Arena's 1 mana cheaper, but we have other 3 drops we like to play and less 4 drops. We sometimes accelerate to 4. This card is sometimes really bad, right? Although it is a recurring source of life gain every turn if we have Witch out, which is kind of exciting. Maybe we can try to do Arena out, Shadow Spear out. We need 4 out. This is very expensive. Gets worse if we're not playing Worm. I can rebirth the Haster. I can rebirth Witch, though. It feels like there's 2 cards that this deck focuses on, and they're Loris and Witch, so I kind of wouldn't mind a way to get them back in. All right, still 4 cards out. We're not playing both of these. It's one of them. Tome is better than Treasure Map, I guess. 3 cards out. Hate that we're going to play Sarkon and Immortal Sun, but I think we are. I think it's better than Worm. Sometimes Worms wins me a game, but sometimes it just gets immediate. It does nothing when it comes into play and gets removed for a 6 mana, and I'm super salty about it. I think that happens about 98% of the time. All right, 2 cards out. Do we cut Shadowsphere and Arena? I don't love Grasp. I would have thought prior to this format, if you'd asked me would I ever cut Grasp from a black deck, I would have said no. But now I'm not so sure. 1, 2, 3. Is that it, really? Oh, Bone Crusher. I think I am playing Grass. I don't think I'm playing Devil's Play, chat. All right, which draw card do we want? We have to take one of these cards out. I could possibly play Arena and Elixir. Just be greedy about it. Don't worry about the land base right now. 1 card out. Life gain matters. Situational draw. I have quite a bit of healing. I think I play Cosmos over Arena. I mean, this is out faster, which is nice, but turn 3 is relevant to me for things. I haven't played Shadowsphere at all this format. All right, what's our creature count? 12. With the Planeswalker that generates creatures. We have another draw effect off our Mortal Sun, too. We can actually kill ourselves with too many draw effects. Let's try this. Elixir is probably a worse card than Phyrexian Arena, maybe. But I have a drain effect. The life gain matters to me. Our strongest combo is still Witch of the Moors. This is 6, 7. We don't want. We do want that. 8, 9. I don't think I play this. I think I just play a swamp. Wait, did it add a mountain? 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait. Yeah, it did. No, I added this. So we're 9, 9 right now. Is that right? 8, 9, 10, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. So we're 9 black, 10 black, 9 red sources. Seems great. None of them are tap lands. Seems great. I don't love this Shadow Spear equipment, but maybe we can do something with it. We can kill some of the annoying things like Thasta with this too. Okay. All right, let's try to get a game or two in. I don't want to waste time. I have to leave in, well, I have to be done in around 15 to 20 minutes, so we can maybe get 1 to 2 games in if we start now, if I don't dick around with naming it, which is kind of a bummer. Treasure Art's good. I don't hate it. I don't feel like this deck goes very far. This deck feels honest. We have the one recursion sequence that gets broken by essentially any removal. So it feels like we're not greedy enough for this format to me. Although I don't know what led us astray pick-wise. Him looks a lot less good on the draw. Okay. That's a good question, QED. I don't know the answer to that. I think it's just long. The U.S. really kicked up its vaccine production with the administration change. It's been a political objective now, and a lot of states these days are capable of letting you do that immediately. This is sorcery instant, right? Okay. Mill crab. Mill crab is blanked by that entirely. He's building graveyard for us for Blood for Bones, but we don't have any big creatures in there, right? So Blood for Bones is value in this deck. Pyro's a wizard, by the way. Oh, he's not. He's a fucking shaman. Fuck you, shaman. Shaman piece of shit. Can put out another 2-1 beater. It's pretty unexciting. And cast Tomb and try to do some scrying with it. It's pretty unexciting too. Okay. I'm playing mono blue mill apparently. Rankle's in there, and so's our Witch of the Moors. Okay. Now we have a target. Alright, we don't have life gain yet though. I mean, I'm almost dead here. I'm at 18 cards already. It's crazy. Take it. Sets us up for a pretty nice play in a minute. Okay. I don't know if we can play Immortal Sun in this matchup now that we've drawn. Now that we've been milled for so hard by this fucking crab. I can't life gain matter this turn though, right? It's a turn after. Turn after is too late. I gotta clear his board a little bit, but I don't love this block. But I feel like we get back into this game by rebirthing Witch. How does that interact? Does that even interact? Beginning of your end step, you gain life, each opponent. At the beginning of your end step, I guess I can trigger them. But does this thing even go on the stack if I didn't gain life? Does this not actually synergize, chat? Is this a Nombo? Alright, it's rebirth anyway, so it doesn't matter. We get rid of this dude. We're Return a creature to the battlefield. Rankle. Return a creature to my hand, which... I'm pretty sure we have to sack here. This is just really expensive removal for that, huh? Feels like a Nombo, doesn't it? I might have to remove that. That might have to be arena because I didn't realize they were both end step triggers. Okay. All right. So plan is end step, tome. My turn, cast out witch. Tome on our turn to eat his creature. Start recurring our shit. If we run into counter magic, we're in bad shape. Doesn't look like we're going to. What's yours in upkeep? Beginning of your end step. Draw a card. Otherwise gain 2 life. Okay. Opponent just play out 45 lands this turn? Holy shit. Card's pretty unexciting here. To my hand, right? Okay. So the kicker on that is 7. Thank you, NiPi, for the resub. I don't mind just creating a dragon. Might be too slow. I don't mind rebirthing Rankle and making us sack creatures. That's fine too. I'm going to leave the lifelinker on the board and sack Rankle again. Bounce spell is interesting. So we can steal it and cast it on 5. We actually have 3, we have 1 mana off, stealing it, casting it, and putting Witch into play. Dude, get the fuck out with your last card being Ashiok. Dude, okay. Just lost our whole graveyard too. Fucking guy. I spoke too soon about last card. Last card apparently is a 2/2 who generates 3/3s on each upkeep. Ashiok to mill my deck and a 1 mana removal spell for my creature. Isn't this up? Okay. I missed land drop, so we can't play the plan. Can't gain life this turn because he denied it.
I fight with a dragon's rage. Your end has arrived.
Feels bad. Vaccine for bullshit. Wouldn't that be nice? The mill decks are strong in this format.
Listen to them roar. A dragon does not lose.
Can't gain life. 4 cards. He doesn't have more mill, we're okay. Doesn't have removal for this. He's got 1 card left in hand. I guess it's just Witch and Dreadhorde, hold Dire Fleet. Obviously if Ashiok connects we lose. Okay. Oops. Oh, what is that? Where did that come from? What button did I press to get a friends list? Why did you see have a 1-1 left? I don't remember having a 1-1. So I can get him for 8. He obviously blocks for 4 here. I think I'd rather keep it as a surprise. Any reason to play or not play lands here? Not sure. Okay. Had to neutralize. Glad I didn't play it that turn. Okay. Alright. That was a really close game. Really, really close game. 1 more activation off of his crab. I think we survived 1 more activation off crab. I think it was by 1 card. I can't remember if we were at 3 or 2 in our library. Or 3 or 4 in our library, rather. And I think one more activation of Ashiok we lost. Going off. Oh, shit. Thanks. We got to get that card out of our deck. The life gain at the end of the turn, it doesn't synergize with our only payoff on life gain. So that was a nombo in the end, unfortunately. It's too bad, it's colorless. So I guess we're playing Phyrexian Arena. Okay. Strong, Witch is strong as fuck. Witch is crazy. It's like it's the only reason to go into lifelink in my opinion. Right? All the other payoffs aren't good enough. I mean, Vita's okay, or Vito, or whatever that guy is who drills their face with it, but the value is, oh, dude, why are we going second? The value is absolutely in the Witch. Couple of decisions here. I'm probably I don't care if I'm countercasting to counter magic, right? So a part of me wants to hold the Null Priest till 6 to protect Luris, right? And a part of me also wants to hold up Grasp of Darkness in case they play a creature, so I can remove it and make the board clear for Captain Lannery. That's another mill deck, chat. Just milled my Sarkhan right off the bat. Blood to Bones is pretty good though. Is this the same fucking guy? Rankle's in the graveyard now, so we get rebirth effects on Rankle if we want. think this is just giant as a 4. As a 4/3. Gotta get more on the board. He's clearly holding counter magic. I gotta run through the counter magic. I've got 2 rebirth effects for other things. I think I'm okay with that. I don't need Mazebind Tome on the board quite yet. Okay. Best deck to climb in this meta. This isn't constructed. This is cube. So you can't climb. There's no ranked in it. If you mean to play in standard, I don't play in standard, or don't play in constructed at all. So I have no idea. Okay. I just played against this deck. Pretty fucking irritating. Alright. Do I take 2 off to kill Ashiok? He's got 2 mana open. I think I do. Annoyingly. So if he removes Giant, I can pump Lannery with tokens, is the reason to do it that way. Unfortunately, I just took out my entire graveyard by exiling it because Ashiok is the stupidest fucking card ever. The punish to someone milling you is you get your graveyard as a resource. Ashiok just immediately exiling it and being a threat that will win a game single-handedly, it's just dumb. I don't understand why it's there. It's just a dumb card. I'm so glad not to be playing against this in regular drafts. It was just like the most miserable thing ever in a regular draft game for that. I don't know if opponent plays creatures here. Does that do anything? I don't have a land for it. I mean, I can cast it off the tokens, I guess, but does it do anything? I guess it's a beater. It's good enough as a beater. Okay. More salt than water. Think I'm being salty right now? I don't think I'm being particularly salty right now. 11, 24. Okay. Champion draws him 45,000 more fucking cards. Any of these creatures have haste? No. He has enough to eternalize it too, so we're just dead next turn. Champion of Wits and Teferi's Tutelage is nuts. I guess I can kill my creature that he blocks with it. But he always blocks the 4/4, right? I can make him sack by gaining life, but where? And it's not till the end of the turn. I could kill it and then return and remove it from his graveyard. That seems like my best play, huh? Okay. Alright, let's get a stop on upkeep. I get life gain off Maze Mine next turn. Grass Blowers' power to stop the draw is an interesting interaction too. I didn't even think about that. That's a pretty good fucking call. I mean, almost dead. 7 cards left in my library. The problem is, I should have done it here then, is what I should have done. I'm going to have 10 power on the board, but 10 is not 12, unfortunately. I think holding that as a surprise is better. He can counter that, but it's all of his mana, right? So he commits to the mana. Almost slammed draw there. Oh, actually land was really good there. I could have played Loris. That's a mistake on my part not to keep the land. I guess I still play Loris here. Could play Phoenix too, I guess. He's gonna wonder why I'm not casting spells out of my graveyard if I Loris. So that always happens. Sure. Okay, this commits him to playing the card to win the game, and then we fucking beat him. Alright. At the moment, I win on board, right? If he's 7 manas, I win on board. He's actually 1 mana off. Fuck. Does you think he doesn't have that last mana, chat? Because what I don't want him doing... Okay, I guess I have to resolve this. What I don't want him doing is interacting with my treasure tokens. Maybe that's how I do it. But if I do that, broadcast is super hard. All right, we'll cast for Kindling Phoenix. We're hoping to catch him with the Grasp. He might have a counter for this and then untap. I see, thank you. All right. Come on, asshole. Draw your last land and get punished. There you go. Okay. GG. 2 in a row. All right. 2 in a row versus the mill decks on the last turn to win. Who was that in chat who suggested that line? That line was fucking awesome. Already forgotten. Anyway. Sick. Because the best part of that play, if we're not clear, I think that was Mitochondrium. I think it was. The sickest part of that play though was the fact that it commits his mana to it, right? So the other play we had was we could kill that thing, attack for damage, and then exile his dude with Aftermath, right? That was the other play, although I think he passed the counter on that, right? He allowed that Phoenix to resolve, and he had 3 mana open, and he very well could have had a counter there. We saw the discards, but I don't remember what the fuck they were. I don't know if chat saw them. But the best part of that is he commits 7 mana, tapping out, to bring that thing back into play and then guarantees the loss on that set. That's so nice. Anyways. All right, chat. I have to go. I'm going to go get my shots. Getting my fucking COVID vaccine today. Super excited about it. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do more Cube tomorrow. And meanwhile, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Good night.